is Alton Futrell. This is my wife, Quinea. We've been a member of the Grove Church for approximately 6 years.
Before the homeownership program, we were on the verge of pretty much going our separate ways. For us, it was our last resort. It was our final piece of hope. We turned in our application and just waited to see what would happen. When we received our call from Maggie, we were really ecstatic about it. That to us was our sign that not only that God hadn't given up on us and our marriage, but that it was time for us to do what's right, and that was to work things out the right way. And I set up an appointment to meet with her.
The Homeownership Program was birthed from a vision of Pastor Mariner's that every believer should prosper, and that one way to prosper is through homeownership. It's a very unique program, in fact, an incredible one, and we received calls from all over the country after CBN recognized our program on national television.
Every month, well, the first Monday of every month, we went to the financial council meetings, which really helped us a lot with our finances.
In order to be part of the program, you have to be a member of the church for 2 years, be a faithful tither, and be willing to work with financial counselors to be sure that you're credit worthy for owning your own home, and go through programs that help you become a successful homeowner, not just getting into the home, but maintaining the home. Once admitted to the program, the candidate lives in the house for 2 years. The church saves half of the rent that they pay to us, and we return it to them at the end of that 2-year period once they qualify for a home.
And even though, you know, our scores were rising, they weren't rising as high as we hoped they would. And I would honestly say it would seem as if we kind of just thought it was just gonna last forever. It just really snuck up on us, and it was like, whoa, wait a minute, we have to move out of here in a year, and our scores still aren't where they need to be.
If participants don't fulfill all of the requirements of the program, they will not receive the half of their rent back toward a down payment.
So we really buckled down and got more serious about it, because until we did, you know, it was going to remain the same, and we would have been losing the money and in an apartment, which is not where we wanted to be. So basically, we got serious about it. We did everything that we were instructed to do, and of course, it worked.
After our scores began to increase and we were finally where we needed to be, the process of shopping for a home began, which was more difficult than we really thought.
Yeah.
We would see a home and it'd be on the market, then it's gone the next day. When we finally did find a home that we wanted to purchase, it was a short sale.
A short sale is a bank-owned property that is about to undergo foreclosure. They put it on the market for what they consider to be a short sale, which is really not that short. We actually had to bid on the property. We bid at a price that was accepted initially by the bank, so we were really excited about it. And it was just like, okay, finally, this is it. We are about to move in our house. But then we got the call.
We thought it would be great news. With the short sales, the sellers accepted the offer that we made. However, the bank did not. After all the effort and excitement that we had put into this home, we were back at square one.
Yeah, and it really did kind of put a damper on the whole situation to kind of make us feel as if, okay, God, did you forget about us? Yeah. At that time, the relationship was kind of up and down. It was still kind of a roller coaster. And then once we got that call, it was just like, okay, well, things can't get any worse for us. So at this point, we really began to get really discouraged about the whole situation. We didn't know which way to turn. We were really at a place of no return is what we felt anyway. Time was really running out. It was time for us to move out of the Grove house. Our credit scores were exactly where they needed to be. We had the money for the down payment, but our marriage seemed to be falling apart. And things got so out of whack to the point where we were both tag teaming our realtor and our mortgage broker about doing separate loans and looking at separate homes until I got a call from our mortgage broker, and she really laid it into us. She said to me that she would not, under any circumstance, look forward to doing any type of separate mortgage for us because she knew in her heart that it was not of God what we were doing. She said that she knew we could go to any other mortgage company in the world, but that to her it was a ministry to her, and she knew in her heart that this was not of God and she was not willing to do it. And at that point it was like, okay, what are we gonna do? So after that call, we really had to get serious, where we would look beyond what we were feeling like at the time and really let our faith kick up a notch. And at that point, we really began to pray a lot more.
It really took us to have to do a lot of fasting, praying, and it really was a test of our faith.
But we did buckle down and decide to believe that God's word is true, and that because he can't lie and because it can't return to us void, that all we can do is just stand at this moment, which was very uncomfortable. I would say the most uncomfortable thing in the world is just standing and believing when everything else looks to be impossible.
We finally got a phone call from my realtor. It seemed like she had been working night and day. She said she thinks she had found the perfect home for our family.
And of course, for us, the perfect home was just like, okay, here we go again. We were already 2 months behind schedule. We had a projected date to move out of the Grove house by September, early September, and it was now November and we were still there. So we set up a time and we came, we pulled up to it, and it was just God. I don't even know another word to describe it, because everything about this home was everything we had desired. Everything we always wanted in a home was already there.
After walking through the door, it just felt like a burden was just lifted. Finally, it seemed like we had a place that we could call home.
From the backyard for our children to play in, to the front porch. And by this point, it was just like, we need to be at a home by Christmas for our kids. So they diligently worked hard, and 3 weeks later, we were in our new home.
The homeownership program is a gift from God for anyone who wants to own their own home.